Hi, I'm Charlene Laney, co-founder of Newmaker Financial and certified financial planner. Today we are in part 3 of our 3-part series about pet trusts with Anna Burr, who is an estate planning attorney here in the Denver metro area. And for those of you who are constantly worried about taxes, or even those of you who may not have even thought about potential tax issues, today's video is for you. So Anna, would love for you to share with us what tax issues might come up when setting up a pet trust.
Sure. When creating a trust generally, taxes can be an issue there. That's part of, in some cases, why we create a trust. And there are a few different ways of getting around taxes. The primary forms of taxes that we're talking about here would be income taxes, gift taxes, and then charitable tax exemption. Income tax, we all know what that is. We make money and the Fed takes their piece. Well, the same thing happens with a trust. Trusts and humans are taxed differently. And so where a pet trust factors in there is that there's between the pet and the trust, there's no human. And so because the pet is not taxable and they can't earn an income and they can't do any of those things, then from an income tax perspective, a pet trust gets taxed to the trust, which is at a higher rate generally than what people pay on their own income taxes. This may all be very confusing, but the short answer is, with regard to income taxes, that the trust itself is going to pay the taxes, and you can't use a pet trust as a way of changing that. The second type of taxes that we talked about were gift taxes. The Fed always wants their piece. And so if you give a gift of money to somebody, then that can be a way of avoiding taxes, but then there's also taxes on the gift. It's a whole thing.
Right.
Once again, though, we run into the same problem. So if you are wanting to get rid of some of your income through a gift in order to avoid income taxes, if you're at a very high income tax level, a pet trust is once again not a good mechanism for that, because even though you're gifting your money to your pet is not a human, and so they don't count. Right. And then thirdly, with charitable taxes, same kind of thing. Sometimes people will create what's called a charitable remainder trust as a way of, again, offloading tax issues. If I donate a chunk of my estate to a charity, then that can offset some of the taxes that can be involved. However, I'll bet you can predict what I'm going to say. The money in the pet trust, if what's left over goes into a charity, it is not a donation from a human, and so there is no charitable tax deduction. So the very short answer to all of this with taxes is that a pet trust really provides you no benefit from a tax perspective. It has to be exclusively just because you love your dear sweet animal and not because you're trying to pay the Fed less money.
Understood. Okay, so from all 3 different tax perspectives, whether it be income tax or charitable, or what was the second one that you mentioned?
Gift taxes.
Gift taxes, your estate may very well end up paying more tax if the bulk of the assets are left to a pet specifically. So this is not a mechanism for helping with your tax planning. For your explanation, it's really only best if you happen to really love your animal and you want to leave them this amount of money. Riveting stuff. They will certainly find different ways to tax your estate, but when it comes down to it, if you love your animal, a pet trust can certainly still make sense for you. If you want to have more of that type of discussion with a professional who understands pet trusts and all of the other different types of issues that can come up, Anna Burr is an excellent contact for you to speak with. Please check out her website, which we've linked down below in the description. And this officially concludes our series on pet trust. If you want to hear more information about this, we can certainly bring Anna back on. So let us know what other topics you are interested in. And if you haven't yet, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you again next week. Thanks for watching.